I'm going to have a terrific show today. And I'm going to help some people because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Hi everybody and welcome to Golden Hour, a show about finding joy after 50. Would you like to learn how to love yourself and how to be your own best friend? Well then keep watching. Hi everybody, in this episode you'll learn 7 steps to help you learn to love yourself. And by the end of the episode you'll find a short video about how I recently found some joy. Sometimes after a lot of years of experiences, we lose ourselves. We stop loving ourselves. We spend so much time taking care of everyone else that we forget how to take care of ourselves. And on top of that, with a lot of the negative things that have happened to us or that have been said to us, we start to internalize that and we start to not like ourselves so much. And now that we're over 50, it's time to fall in love with ourselves all over again. Now, I'm not talking about being conceited or an egomaniac. I'm talking about genuine love for yourself. The first step is to love yourself, flaws and all. That might be something difficult to do, but it's important that we do that. And it's not to love ourselves in spite of our flaws. I think it's to love ourselves because of our flaws, because we're not perfect. So how do we do that? How do we love ourselves with our flaws? We stop focusing on what's wrong with ourselves and we start focusing on what's right. This is a problem I have. I have a space between my 2 front teeth, and when I look in the mirror, that space looks like the Grand Canyon to me. That's all I can see. And I have to redirect it and I have to force myself to look at the positives. To look at the positive and say, hey, you're 58 years old, you don't have a ton of wrinkles. I really try to focus on the positive because if I let that get to me, it literally drives me to tears sometimes. So focus on what's good about you. And I'm not just talking about with looks. I'm talking about what are the good things about your personality? Are you a loving person? Do you help others? Are you smart? Are you kind? Focus on the positive. Sort of making a pros and cons list about yourself, a good and bad quality list. And we might start out with a lot of things we don't like about ourselves, but our goal is to have more things that we do like about ourselves. So we lead with the positive. Here's an example. I'm a creative writing teacher. Whenever I teach a class in writing and my students are writing and my students hand in a paper, I have all those that are willing read the paper out loud to the other kids in the class. And the only rule I have is that every single child in that class has to say one positive thing about the person's paper. And some of them struggle with it because we're so quick to pick out the negative aspects of things. But they practice this and they all manage to find a positive thing. And once everyone in the class finds one positive thing, then we open the floor to constructive criticism. Nobody makes fun of everybody. They actually give them constructive criticism on how to make their paper better. You would not believe the look on the children's faces when the other kids in the class tell them what they like about their paper. It makes a world of difference. When I used to be a restaurant manager, I handled my employees the same way. I managed restaurants for like 10 years in my youth. And I would get an employee, I would give them a task, they wouldn't do it up to my standards. And your normal reaction is to, lash out at your employee, but I taught myself to stop, tell them what they did right, and tell them what they can improve upon. And it makes the world of difference in dealing with people. So why don't we do that to ourselves and say, hey, this is what I like about myself, this is what I don't like about myself, and I'm going to make the appropriate changes, but along the way, I'm going to love myself with my flaws. That leads me to the second step, acknowledging that you are a work in progress. You're not there yet. You're at work in progress, and you can love yourself each step of the way. If you're a parent, think about your children. There were probably times as they were growing up that you didn't like some of the things they did. Maybe they went through the terrible twos. Maybe the teenage years were tough, or the middle school years. But you didn't stop loving your child. You gave them unconditional love. You focused on the positive, not the negative. And this is what we need to do for ourselves. I struggle with it, but you need to love yourself unconditionally. You've done it for others, now do it for yourself. And the third thing is, don't let what others say about you or your accomplishments affect you negatively. Wayne Dyer used to say, "What other people think of me is none of my business." And one of the highest places to get to is being independent of the good opinion of other people. Try to let that roll off your back. There's always going to be some negativity. I've heard a lot of comics and performers talk about this as well. They'll get one bad review amongst hundreds and thousands of good reviews. And what do you think they focus on? They focus on that negative review. Take a look at social media. There are so many negative things on there. We tend to focus on the negative, and we need to turn that around and focus on the positive. So don't listen to what others think about you. It's none of your business. Number 4 kind of ties in with number 1. It's positive self-talk. I started out the show today with a little parody of Stuart Smalley, who used to be played by Al Franken on SNL. But there's a lot of truth to that. It's talking to yourself in the mirror and pointing out what you like about yourself. It's stopping yourself when you say some negative things about yourself. I'm not talking about glossing over the things that are truly need to be fixed in your life. For example, I need to lose weight. I have a long way ahead of me, but sometimes you do need tough love. But I'm talking about just telling yourself, you know, I love you. You're a good person. We're going to do this. We're going to get through this. You've got this, and you've got me. Talk to yourself like you're your own best friend. Number 5 is be kind to yourself. We all know the phrase, do unto others, but if we actually did unto others the way we do unto ourselves, we'd be very mean to an awful lot of people. We tend to be really hard on ourselves. I'd like to turn it around and say, do unto yourself as you do unto others. So treat yourself with kindness. Give yourself a break. I want you to think about yourself as if you're a 2-year-old toddler. Think about some of the things you say to yourself. Would you say those things to a 2-year-old? Would you be that harsh to a 2-year-old? If you said those things to a little 2-year-old, how would they affect that 2-year-old? It would carry with them for the rest of their life. So we need to talk to ourselves like we're that little 2-year-old, and be kind and be patient and nurture ourselves. And I think number 6 ties in with number 5. It's about respecting yourself. It means to eat well. It means to sleep properly. It means to not have negativity in your life. It means keeping good company, keeping positive people around you, and not allowing yourself to be treated badly. Wayne Dyer also used to say, what you allow will continue. So don't allow people to treat you badly, and that includes yourself. Respect yourself enough not to eat bad things, not to take drugs, and not to drink excessively. Take care of yourself. Nurture yourself. Don't do anything to yourself that you wouldn't do to a 2-year-old. And the final thing is to realize that you really only have yourself in this world to rely on. You're the only person that'll never let you down. So work on that. Don't let yourself down. Follow these 7 tips, learn how to love yourself, and hopefully that list of dislikes and likes will tip this way, and you'll have many more likes than you have dislikes about yourself. And then you're on your way to truly loving yourself unconditionally. Keep watching, and you're about to see how I found some joy last week. Look at our family of ducks. Across the pond, you can see the Pond House restaurant. And remember to love yourself and take yourself to beautiful places with beautiful flowers and lovely weather. Remember, you don't need somebody to go with you to have a good time. I had a wonderful time here today at Elizabeth Park. It's just beautiful and sunny, and it's filled with people. Just be your own best friend. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. I hope you enjoyed that video of me having a good time last week. If you liked this video or it helped you in any way, click subscribe, click on the bell, and you'll receive notifications. I'll see you next time. Get your shine on.